Hey guys, Brewski here. Happy New Year. Good to see you all again. I had a request. Friend of mine, Antoinette from Good Owl Games, was looking at making some snow bases for one of her armies. I guess she was having trouble with the product on doing that, so I really kind of had an easy way to do it. So I thought I'd turn this into a video. So here you have a quick down and dirty way to make snow and ice bases. Check this out. All right, so I'm going to go over the things you're going to need to make a snow and an ice base here. So the main thing we're going to use is spackle or drywall compound, whatever you call it. I like this by DAP, and this was super cheap. This is a 8-ounce container I got on Amazon. This was about $5 American. And the thing I like about this is it's a paste. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's a paste. It's not liquidy, and it's pink, so this will actually turn completely white as it dries. The only downside to it is you get about 5, maybe 10 minutes working time, but for what we're doing, very down and dirty work, that's not going to matter. So that's your main ingredient right there, $5 or $6. The rest of this is as complicated as you want to get, okay? Now, in terms of making this shiny or making it sparkly, if you mess with resins at all, you probably have different types of glitter. I just grabbed a simple 15 color pack off Amazon, and I've got silvers, I've got various blues, I've got teal, real dark blue if you want to go that way. You can get as whimsical as you want on this part. You're going to need something little to scoop it with. I would recommend a little bit of blue paint if you're going to do anything with ice, and that can be, you know, craft paint, that can be army painter. You're going to use a very small amount of this. This is where I'm really going to get creative. For the ice, we're actually going to use UV curing resin. I have some of this Green Stuff World UV resin, which works very well, and under a black light cures very, very fast. So I definitely recommend that for you. You obviously need some kind of a base. You're going to need some kind of stirring sticks, a couple of toothpicks. I recommend some kind of small cup for either paint or mixing spackle around. And I would use a glove. And the reason I recommend that is I don't like sculpting this particular material with stuff like a little stick or a coffee stirrer. It doesn't work really well with that. If you want to get flat, kind of rounded surfaces, I think you're going to need something that's a little bit bigger, and honestly, you know, a glove is going to keep you from getting messy. You can use your finger, whatever, this stuff comes off. It's not going to hurt you. It's non-toxic. Really not too bad an idea. So the first thing we're going to do is just get a fair bit of this spackle onto the base. Now, another plus to this is actually what I use when you have a slotted base like this. You'll notice there's a slot going through to hold the model in place. This is actually great for filling in the slotted base. So we're just going to get a bunch of this. Another pro tip, make sure you solidly close this every time you're done with it. I'm just going to go ahead and put my glove on now. I'm going to go for a kind of rolling look here. I'm not going to use... You could whip this up. You see it's got some consistency to it. You could whip this up and make all kinds of really jagged shapes if you wanted to. And it's, of course, sandable and pliable. You can do a lot with it. But I'm just going to get a chunk, and I'm going to plop it right down in the middle there. Like that. And I'm just going to, in this case, spread it around, fill in a little slot in the bottom there. And you'll see it's kind of sticking to the glove a little bit, but that's not too bad, and it's giving it texture. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's giving this texture as you go. And I'm just using a privateer press lipped base. Nothing really fancy here. But the one thing I am going to do, because I want to mess with some ice effect on this, is I'm going to make a bit of a dimple and make a bit of a depression there and build up other areas around it. Got a little bit of a hole there. You can keep it, you can have it go over the rim if you want, or just stay in, whatever. And you'll notice as you pack this down, the bottom will have a little bit of this coming out. Super easy. I just take this, scrape that right off. If you did it right, it won't push this back out, and you're good to go. Again, this is not, this isn't perfect. This is what I put like golden demon models on, but it'll work nicely enough for the effect we're trying to create here. So again, you seal up your spackle when you're done, because this stuff really does dry quick. Now, this is, I don't know how well you can see it in the light. It's pink now. In about 5 minutes, this is going to dry white. And that's when you actually know that you're done. So you kind of have to work fast. Just get the texture on that you want. Like I said, I'm gonna have this be fluffy snow. And the next thing we're gonna do, while it's still somewhat like this, so we don't have to use anything weird, we're gonna actually take a little bit of glitter. Super little. You almost don't need any. Glitter goes everywhere, as you know. Even if you don't know, you know. And it's really easy. Sorry, I hadn't opened that yet. Really easy for this stuff to just fly everywhere, and you don't need as much as you think you do. So I'm gonna take a little spoon here and just hardly get any on that at all. And I'm just going to knock this around. And again, you could go totally whimsical and have this all over the place. But you don't have to by a long shot. And all I'm doing is just dragging this around a little bit. If you just drag your finger, the glitter goes with it, because glitter. You end up with a nice spread out sparkle there. That's our shape. We just have a little dimple there, a little kind of space for some water to be, and the rest of it's covered up in glitter. And we're gonna let that dry. Okay, so now that that has had time to mostly dry, it's just about done, so we're gonna move on at this point. And you can see there's a little bit of cracking, there's a little bit of drying. That's to be expected, and we really don't care. At this point, I would probably, if you really want to make something that's going to last, I would seal this over with a little bit of PVA glue, white glue. If you have actual basing sealant, that would be good. You can water it down so you don't, cover detail. I'm going to skip that for the purpose of this video. I'm just going to go right into showing you guys how to make some ice. So now we're going to use our UV resin. Take your handy dandy little cup and just kind of guess how much resin you're going to need. This is it's a little thick. The cup is honestly overkill for the amount we're going to be using here, but it'll be fine. And this stuff, I mean, depending, like this is a small bottle. Getting this from Green Stuff World, I think this was $15 at the time. Not too bad. But you just get a little bit in the cup down there. And I'm going to take the smallest little drop of our Army Painter Crystal Blue here. You don't want to oversaturate this with paint, otherwise the UV properties won't work. You just want to do, I don't even necessarily need to drop this in. If I just get this on, just going to get this on a toothpick basically. About a drop. And again, the color is up to you. You can make this teal or you can make it close to clear. It's all up to you. Just gonna go Bob Ross a little bit. There's no accidents. There's no mistakes. There's just happy little accidents. Yeah, I think that's gonna look nice, and it's gonna go thinner as you get more of it. So, and you could even go crazy if you want to bedazzle the bejesus out of this and just put a bunch of glitter in the resin too. I think we're gonna need a little more though. The idea here is I don't want to cover the whole base. I don't want to have this all over the place. I just want a good amount so we have that. It kind of looks like snow has fallen over some ice. It's kind of the look we're going for here. So you just mix that up and you'll get, about that color, that consistency. You want it to be see-through still. Here we go. So then we're gonna pour, and I'm probably not gonna get a good camera angle as I do this just because this is so small, but we're just gonna pour this right into that gap. And it'll level as you go. Find its own level. But the only thing you don't want to do at this point is have it drip somewhere you don't want there to be ice on the base. I'm not even worried if this goes all the way over to this kind of end here. And the beauty of UV resin is you can cure this pretty fast. So you don't have to worry about it sort of receding and shrinking back. So get it where you want it. I'm gonna go right about that, just so it looks like we've got some snow around the ice. And then you set your UV on it for a bit. It says the drying time is about 2 to 4 minutes, depending. UV resin is absolutely great for small jobs like this. It's better than the other stuff, which takes usually like 24 or sometimes even up to 72 hours to cure. And you can do all kinds of sorts of stuff with the resin. If you wanted to, you can make some icicles sticking out of the ground. If you have a little fishing wire, you can just let it drip and cure it as it falls down, make icicle type shapes. You can have it going like veins of water throughout the base. There's a lot you can do with this stuff. It's really handy. It's great for putting little details and just kind of capping the model. Okay, that is just about fully cured from what I can tell. And there you have it. Nice little snow and ice base. And obviously I just grabbed a Reaper model. This is some Elf Ranger that I got. I just thought the model looked cool. And he's got this detailing on his base. It's kind of a lipped base. If I were going to put this on here, obviously if I just do this, it's covering all the glitter. So I would cut that kind of thing off and then stick the model on, and that would fit pretty well. Honestly, I might even keep that just for this, because that will fit just about perfectly. So all right, guys, there you have it. There's my very simple, quick, down and dirty ice bases. If you like this, leave a comment, leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, please give me a subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Stay savage.